guys, Norm with Bearable Traders. It is Tuesday, September 10th, 2019. Quick recap for today. I had a pretty funky day. I had one terrible trade this morning, and I just made a rookie mistake. Took a real quick opening range breakup. It looked like Roku had sold off all morning, and it started to pop, and I played it. It looked like it was going to break this pre-market level, hang above VWAP on the 1 minute here. So I took it long. There was a nasty spread at the time, so I got filled like 20 or 30 cents worse than I thought I was going to get filled. And my dog started barking in the other room. So I got up for a split second, turned around, walked 10 steps away. At some point in there, I think I heard Andrew say that he looked like it was a short. I was like, uh-oh. So I came back, and it had already passed my stop, which was these moving averages. And I froze like a deer in the headlights. Thankfully, I didn't have too big of a size, but I let it sit, and then once it finally broke, I got stopped out. But, you know, my rule on that is, first of all, don't miss your stop. But in that particular case, I turned around for a second, and it was already done, and then I just sat there like an idiot. And it could have been a lot worse. The real lesson in this, if you look on the 15-minute chart or the 30-minute chart, is this is the kind of thing. I got out of this with a nasty, pretty nasty loss in the mid 155. I think it was like 155.30-ish. It's trading $10 plus below that now. So, if I had stuck in this and prayed that it came back or whatever, it really could have been just devastating instead of a multiple R loss that I shouldn't have taken. It could have been one of those things. It's the kind of thing that could blow up somebody's account. So anyway, luckily I had a trade this morning on a stock that is not typically in my wheelhouse, MNK. So MNK is a generic drug manufacturer out of the UK. Strike number one. I usually don't play foreign stocks. I usually don't play biotech or pharma stocks because they usually move around in ways I don't like, but I'm not completely averse to it. But I don't trade foreign stocks. I don't trade stocks under $5. I really don't trade anything under $10 or $20 very often. I can't remember the last time I traded a $2 stock. But it looked interesting. It is involved in the opioid crisis. It manufactures them, and they've got a lot of lawsuits going on. This was a $75 stock within the last 2 or 3 years. And if you just go back on a weekly, you can see this time last year was trading, August last year was mid-30s. So now this morning was trading at 220, 210. It closed yesterday, 212. So anyway, it's been beaten up really bad. And in the last couple of days, it's kind of tried to find a bottom and bounce a little bit. And the short interest in this, according to Trade Ideas, is in the high 60%. It is 67.13%, which is exceptionally high. And I looked at that, and I figured with that action and what was going on pre-market, when I first saw it, it was up 10 or 11%. I thought there's a decent chance at a squeeze on this. It looked like the squeeze had already started a couple of days ago on the daily chart, but these candles aren't really showing a lot. The volume this morning was astounding. I think it trades normally 5.5 million shares a day on average, and that's including these few high volume days in there. Just normally it trades a lot less than that. Today it's already traded 44 million. This morning it was trading about 1.5 million or 2, well before even 9 o'clock. So I thought, okay, this could be setting up for an actual potential real short squeeze. I saw it this morning. I waited for this little pullback when we were in the pre-market show. And I took a small position, a very small position, because I don't usually, not usually what I trade, at 234. I set a stop at 220, and this candle almost stopped me out. It got down as low as 225, so it got a few cents away. And then at the open, it almost stopped me out too at 223. I was actually looking, and that's when I took Roku. I was just going to let this ride and see what happened. this started to take off. And then you can see here on the 2-minute, it was so strong with such heavy volume. I waited for this pullback. It bounced right off of a VWAP and the 9 moving average on my 2-minute chart. I went ahead and added to the position, and then I just sat back and let this thing ride. And like Lee W said in the chat, he goes, somebody asked if I still had it. I was like, I haven't partialed out of this. And it was a good hour plus into the day, or an hour into the day. And Lee W is like, yeah, why would you, I mean, don't take your money out until you're given a reason to. So I sat on, I waited. I did take a partial up here at 3:15ish. This is when it got up to plus 50% on the day, and it started to show a little bit of weakness and hesitation. Put in this tiny shooting star right here on the 5. When it broke the low of that, I went ahead and locked in some profits just in case it started to turn around because it was already up 50%. Saw it flatten out here, was actually turning in a nice little ABCD pattern, and I added at 306 on this pullback, bounced right off that level. I had seen something at 305, and one of the other members in the chat also mentioned they had a level at that. So I took a part, I added to it at 306, went ahead, and once it popped through 350, which also coincides with the 20 on the daily, I believe it's at 352, I took a good sized partial on that one as a limit order right under 350. And then I wrote it out for the rest of it. It finally popped up into the 370 area, which is where it's hanging out now. And at this point, it looked like it might be starting to get weak. I went ahead, I'd been sitting in this for a long time. I took the rest off there. So that one trade, as far as a percentage of the stock price, it was a like 60% move from 12 or 13% up when I took it to 70, 76, 75. So anyway, that one trade saved my day, but the real problem that I'm going to have to think about and dwell on for the rest of the day is thinking about that Roku trade and not letting that kind of thing slip into my game. It's something you do commonly as a new trader, let a stock slip and then pray that it gets back, and I should have been quicker. So I'll focus on that the next few days and keep that in the back of my head and move on from there. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Trade safe, be smart, and I will see you in the chat tomorrow morning.